Most mesothelioma patients are given just 6 to 12 months to live without treatment. But here's what they don't tell you. Some patients are living 3, 5, even 10 times longer after diagnoses. Today, I am going to show you exactly what the science says about potentially living longer with mesothelioma. Hi, I'm Deborah from Surviving Mesothelioma. For almost 20 years, we have studied mesothelioma treatments, and we tell you what works and what doesn't. We have helped over 18,000 mesothelioma patients around the world, and what I'm about to share with you isn't theory. It is based on peer-reviewed medical studies and real patient outcomes. How are some mesothelioma patients improving their life expectancy? It can start with something as simple as the hospital that you get treated at. Okay, here's why. A study published in 2023 in the Journal of Clinical Oncology looked at over 30,000 mesothelioma patients, and you know what they found? The patients treated at academic centers lived an average of 13 months, or a year and 1 month, but at community centers, just 8 months. Okay, that's an extra 5 months of extra survival time just by choosing the right place to start your treatment. But what exactly is an academic center? So in cancer treatments, an academic center is typically a university-affiliated hospital. It focuses on advanced research, clinical trials, and specialized care, often treating complex cases and then training future oncologists. Whereas a community center is your local hospital. They focus on delivering accessible, routine cancer care, such as chemotherapy or radiation therapy to patients in the community. So you can probably see why mesothelioma patients often have better outcomes when being treated in academic centers instead of community centers. So how else might mesothelioma patients improve their life expectancy? Let's take a look at something called multimodal treatments. In simple terms, this just means that different types of treatments are used in combination. And the research shows that combining treatments and other approaches may improve outcomes, but results vary based on the type of mesothelioma that you have and then what cell type it is. Here's why it matters. Studies show that when doctors combine treatments appropriately, some patients can have better survival outcomes than with a single treatment alone. For example, with peritoneal mesothelioma, combining surgery with heated chemotherapy, also known as HIPAC, often gives patients a 53-month median survival. I mean, that is almost 4.5 years. But it gets even better. A 2022 study in the journal Cancer found something really remarkable. When specialized centers combined surgery with other treatments, 29% of mesothelioma patients were still alive 5 years later. Now think about that. Nearly 1 in 3 patients lived for over 5 years with a cancer that many doctors consider untreatable. But remember, your life expectancy varies based on the type of mesothelioma that you have and then what type of cells you have. Epithelial, sarcomatoid, or biphasic. Here's something else I found really interesting. A massive study in the Journal of Clinical Oncology looked at over 20,000 mesothelioma patients, and they discovered that combining treatments, surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation nearly doubled their survival times for certain patients. Those with epithelial cell type lived for 23 months instead of 14 months. And that is an extra 9 months by using multiple treatments together or multimodal treatments. What many patients don't realize is that multimodal treatments can include many different combinations. Traditional approaches like surgery, radiation, and chemotherapy, newer treatments like immunotherapy with chemotherapy, different combinations based on your specific case and your cell type, or even a mixture of traditional treatments and then alternative approaches like diet, vitamins, mind-body medicine. So if you're interested in learning more about multimodal treatments, maybe you could visit an academic or specialty center and ask specifically about multimodal treatment options for your type of mesothelioma. All right, what else can some patients do to improve their life expectancy? Let's take a look at immunotherapy, which is becoming a standard treatment option for mesothelioma. A landmark study called Checkmate 743 showed something remarkable. Patients who received a combination of 2 immunotherapy drugs, ipilimumab and nivolumab, lived an average of 18.1 months compared to only 14.1 months with standard chemotherapy. And then a little over 1 in 5 patients were still alive after 3 years. Okay, what many patients don't realize is how immunotherapy works. So instead of attacking cancer directly like a chemotherapy does, immunotherapy works with your own immune system and helps it recognize and fight the cancer cells. I'm gonna leave a link to some more videos about immunotherapy below. And what about the doctor's experience? Can that impact your life expectancy? All right, let's take a look at the science. A 2021 study in the Journal of Thoracic Disease looked at 368 mesothelioma patients. Those who were treated by a specialized surgical team lived an average of 12 months longer than those who weren't. Okay, that's an extra year of life just because they chose experienced, specialized surgical teams. So if I was in your shoes, when I meet with my doctors, I would ask these specific questions. How many mesothelioma cases do you treat each year? How many times have you performed this specific procedure? What are your success rates with this treatment? How many mesothelioma patients are you currently treating? What about other long-term survivors? What did they do to improve their life expectancy? So some of the longest living mesothelioma survivors have combined standard medical treatments with alternative approaches under medical supervision. For example, Paul Kraus lived for over 27 years using multiple alternative approaches like intravenous vitamin C, diet, and lifestyle changes. Anthony Rasick has survived over 9 years focusing on alternative approaches like nutrition and vitamins. Lewis was diagnosed in 2003 with late-stage peritoneal mesothelioma, and he was still thriving in 2021 after doing aggressive therapies, finding a qualified doctor that was the right fit, and he started eating healthier. Gail survived after combining surgery and chemotherapy with diet and exercise and supplements. And Andy Ashcroft lived 7 years using cannabis oil alongside other treatments. If you are interested in any alternative approaches, it's important to work with healthcare providers who understand integrative medicine and who will coordinate with your oncology team. Alternative approaches are not FDA approved, and they should support, not interfere with your primary treatment. And if you'd like to see how Paul survived mesothelioma for over 27 years using alternative approaches, click the link in the description, get a free copy of Surviving Mesothelioma shipped to your door. That's all I've got for you today. Stay hopeful, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.